Hi there friend, I hope the wind isn't too much of a bother today. For this week I was planning to post the Runestone Safari, but it needs a little bit more work and I don't want to release it before I am happy. But I also bought some really cool furniture secondhand this week, so I thought why not make a thrift haul. And when I thought about it some more, why not do like this mega thrift haul when I show everything I've ever bought secondhand. Well, not everything, but you know, some of the cool things in approximately the same space. Because of that, I think I'm also going to include some gifts, just because they're cool and just because they're in the same space. So without further ado, let's get started. So the reason why I got some new stuff this week is because I am redecorating my living room, which I'm going to turn into a whole video to go more in depth. But for now, look at my velvet couch. Isn't it cool? I am a little bit hesitant to buy secondhand fabrics I can't really wash, but this couch was actually really new. It's only like a year and a half old, and it was sold by someone I felt was like clean, that I felt like I trusted. The color is called cinnamon brown, but it's actually more of an orange color, which is probably why not anyone else wanted it, and I got it for a steal. Next, I want to show you this. This is actually an old sewing machine, which is quite commonly used by, you know, people who like old stuff as tables, but a little bit unusually, the sewing machine is still left inside. There's no pedal or anything though, so I don't think it can be used, but I don't use this sewing machine anyway, so I just think it's a really nice table. It's pretty worn, but I don't really mind. Right now I use it as a desk with this chair. I have these two together because they're sort of similar in color. Unfortunately, this chair tipped over a while back, like the cool little swirly stuff on top broke off. So I'm going to get some wood glue and hope that works. There's also a little ribbon around the padded part that I have glued down before, but it keeps falling off, so I need to figure out a more permanent solution. Maybe I'll have to sew it. I also have this lamp, which I think is pretty cool. I used to have this next to the chair because they're sort of similar in color, but right now it's a little bit, I don't want the lamp in the living room with the kid, but I put it here just to show you. It's also like a really ornamental yellow velvet with a wooden stand with some really nice metal, sort of brass looking details. For now I just shoved a bunch of fair lights in it. It doesn't shine much, but it's actually a really nice cozy light when it gets darker. Here is another chair that I have thrifted, and I'm sorry, but these two chairs, they're not the only good looking but odd chairs we own. Ornamental chairs are my weakness. Well, I mean, speaking of weaknesses, I am a book collector. I like to collect especially fantasy books. I forgot to film anything of these, so here's some footage from when I was organizing them. I try to only buy secondhand, partly because I feel like it's better for the environment, and partly because it's a little bit of a challenge to find a full collection, and also, you know, I'm cheap. A really cool thing that's added to our collection this week is this giant chest. It's almost as wide as I am tall, and it's so beautifully ornamental with wooded carvings of flowers and angels holding up a door. It's extremely worn, but as you probably can tell, we don't mind worn furniture, we actually prefer it. We like the look and we don't have to worry about accidentally scratch anything, so this is just up our alley. I'm not really sure how old this is, but I think this must be one of the oldest pieces in our collection. I did find these numbers, but if there's a date here, it has been worn off. Another thing in here that I am super attached to is this chair. I don't have all these things at the same spot. I just put them there because it's the best lighting. We got this from our landlady long before we even moved here. It's a chair from like the 70s maybe, but instead of this really weird green color, she has dressed it in floor mats, which is just so genius. I love the look on this, and it has really nice wooden armrests. Next, I want to show you this. This is a sewing table, not like the sewing machine table. This is traditionally made for holding your sewing items. This is a very traditional way of painting furniture. I don't know what it's called in English, if it has a name, but I really like this one. I have some sewing items in here, but mainly I use it to, you know, store stuff that could come in handy, but like I don't have anywhere else to put. You know that drawer? This is mine. This lamp on top is also thrifted. It's sort of weirdly looking with this lampshade, but I don't really mind because it looks cool. I also want to show you this giant family Bible that I found at a thrift shop, and they had several ones, but it was pretty cool that this was the only one that didn't have any previous writing from other families in it. You have all these pages when you can write in when someone is born, the date when they were baptized, or did their confirmation, when they were married, and when they died. It's such an extremely beautiful thing, and it's perfect for pressing flowers, to be honest. Of course, I also have to mention our bed frame that I love so much. As I mentioned before, it's a traditional kitchen sofa, which you can always convert into a bed frame. The guy who owned it sold it so cheaply, I was so surprised. So I decided to go through the trouble of getting it, which was quite far away, because I really love the uniqueness of the design and the very distinct way it's worn, and I just love it. At the bottom of the bed, I have this amazing blanket that Vin's grandma made. It's such a lovely idea to just knit long thin pieces. Then she has crocheted a border around all of it, and she made at least 4 of these to different family members, and it's such a lovely idea. On the other side from the bed hangs one of my favorite gifts of all time. This was made and also given to me by my landlady and landlord. They are phenomenal blacksmiths. They have forged and carved everything on this, including the mount, as a birthday gift to both of us, because apparently there's an ancient story that when 2 people got married, they had to go into a maze and slay a beast with a double-edged axe as a symbol of their love. We haven't slayed any beasts, but we were so thankful for this incredible gift. On the other side of the wall we have a fireplace, and where I usually store the sewing table, and we also have this carved and painted wooden sign. I think it's like a bar sign or something. I've always really loved this, but I've never dared to hang it up. But because we have such thick lumber walls in here, I hung it up in a hand-forged nail I found in the wall. But I wanted to move this to the other wall so it was right above the sewing table, but you know, I didn't want to ruin the nail, so I got another hand-forged nail from my landlady. This is probably the darkest room in the entire place, and here you can see me struggling with trying to get some more light in here. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job, but at least it's a pretty candlestick, which is also, you know, secondhand, of course. Man, do I own anything that's new? This nail was the last one she had, and it was apparently not a very aesthetically pleasing one to her, that is. It's a little bit crooked. Here you can see me trying to shed some more light on the situation, but I don't know, you get the idea, right? So I measured it out where I wanted it, and I hammered the nail into the lumber and hung the incredibly heavy sign up, and it looks crooked now. I think the wall is not straight here as is often the case with really old buildings, but it's fine. Now I do have some more items I could show you, but I think I'm gonna save those to the redecorating video.